In this video, I'll show you the biggest differences between a successful and a unsuccessful publisher and the biggest mistakes people are making. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean. I built 2 successful Amazon KDP business. I still publish to this day. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who is actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. So this is going to be another book review series where I analyze and critique the books that you have sent to me on Instagram. If you want me to review your books in future videos like this, you can follow me on Instagram at SeanDolwith13 and DM me your book. But for now, let's go to the first book and let me show you what beginners are doing that absolutely crushes their sales and what a successful publisher would do instead. So this is the first book, Chasing Shadows, A Love Lost in Darkness. Super easy one. This is a fiction book, I believe. And a fiction book makes money on the ebook version, but the ebook version is free for whatever reason. It's like 3 months in and it's still free, so you're not making money there, right? And the paperback version is $15, so you're trying to make money from the paperback, but the fiction books, you know, most people buy ebooks once again. So the paperback price is really high as well. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, you have 0 reviews. This is the biggest mistake out of all. You have no reviews. One thing I want you guys to understand is no matter what other YouTube gurus will tell you, other KDP gurus will tell you, you do need reviews, okay? Yes, it is possible to sell your books without reviews, but it is a billion times easier to sell your book with reviews. So why are you trying to take the hard way when you can just get a couple reviews fairly easily and make it so much easier for you to sell the book? So I really don't understand why all these other channels tell you, oh, you don't need reviews, this and that, when they're just making it so much harder for the people, right? Just get some reviews, super easy, you know? If you need help on how to get reviews, then just look up Sean Dolwith reviews on YouTube, and there's a bunch of videos that I made on tutorials on how to do that. So the next thing is your book cover makes no sense. I don't know what this is, okay? And it's just a text on a black background. It's just not good enough. I'm assuming you made this cover yourself, and you can actually make a better book cover. Have someone make a better book cover for you for literally $5. As an example, this is a book cover designer on Fiverr for just $10. She specializes in more like fiction book cover design, so like it's perfect for your niche, but she makes really good covers like for $10, right? It's much better than, you know, what you have over here. So that is the biggest difference between a successful publisher and an unsuccessful publisher, right? Successful publishers aren't afraid to invest in their business, especially on their book cover, because the book cover determines 90% of the success of the book. And as you can see, you don't have to spend a ton of money on a book cover. It's just $10, at least in your case. All right, this is the second book, which is The Secrets of Breathwork, Unlock the Power of the Mind. Couple things here. Number 1, why are some of your words capitalized and some aren't? It's kind of unprofessional because it's like off and on. This has to be capitalized, right? Makes it look a lot more professional. You have 47 positive reviews, which is good. However, it makes no sense why you have 47 reviews and yet 0 sales. Unless these are all unverified reviews or fake reviews, or I don't know what it is, it doesn't make sense that you have 0 sales here. But ignoring that fact, this is another huge mistake people make that successful publishers do not. And that is the successful publishers check if the topic is profitable before writing. So this book is about breath work, right? So if I take breath work as a keyword and I type it in the search bar, and I literally never did this before filming, so I haven't checked if the topic is even profitable or not. Actually, I stand corrected because I thought breath work was not profitable, but it looks like there are some books on the topic that are selling extremely well, right? So this book, Breathe, is doing $1,000 a day, 30K a month. I have this tool called Bookbeam that tells me how well the book is selling. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. But essentially, there are a couple books out there that is selling decent on breathwork, such as this one, right? And I believe a couple other ones as well. It's not the most profitable topic, and these books that are selling are all authority figures, so it's kind of tough for you to come in and compete, but it's not completely hopeless. The reason why I think this book is not selling is because your subtitle doesn't really explain what the book is about, right? So the secrets of breath work, but unlock the power of the mind is extremely vague. Like, what exactly am I going to learn? What exactly are the benefits am I going to get? Is it reducing stress? Is it better mental performance? Is it productivity? What is it, right? Unlocking the power of the mind, once again, it doesn't mean anything unless you explain to people what unlocking the power of the mind will do for me in terms of like practical sense. So the subtitle is where you sell the book. Subtitle is where you lay out the benefits, the value. And, you know, once again, this is too vague of the subtitle, especially for a nonfiction book like this. All right, so the next book is A Day in the Life of a Bunny, Children and Adult Coloring Book for Mind Clarity. Relax and unwind with Bunny's charming daily adventures. So this is an interesting one. It looks like a not quite AI, I guess. So I wouldn't title this A Day in the Life of a Bunny. I would just title this Bunny Coloring Book for Adults, because that's probably what people are searching for, right? Instead of A Day in the Life of a Bunny. When you try to be fancy with your titles, it often breaks the search phrases that people are typing in on Amazon, which means it's a lot harder for your book to show up when people search for that phrase. Like when people search for Bunny Coloring Book, if your title was Bunny Coloring Book for Adults, your book would have showed up. But because you broke that, right, now it's a lot harder for your book to show up, okay? Now it's possible to still show up on Bunny Coloring Book if you run ads targeting Bunny Coloring Book, and if you start making some sales, Amazon will make a connection. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, so this book is about Bunny Coloring Book because people who search for Bunny Coloring Book is buying this book, so it must be connected, right? So you can train the Amazon algorithm by running ads, but a lot of people complain that they gotta run ads and they don't like running ads. Well, you know, if you just title your book better, then you don't have to do that, right? So you have to understand SEO, but you also don't have reviews. That's probably what's killing your sales more than anything here. So you definitely want to get reviews. Once again, check out my video on how to get reviews. I'll actually link it in the description if you guys want to check it out. I think your interior is pretty good, so I will honestly just work on the reviews and the title. All right, so the next book is Let's Eat in Japan, 68 illustrations of food eating moments in Japan. So I'm not sure if this is AI generated. I'm assuming that's the case because the letters aren't Japanese. I'm actually from Japan, so I can read Japanese, and this is not Japanese. It just kind of looks like it. So this is definitely AI. But before we even talk about how this is a lower quality, you know, AI generated coloring page, we have to discuss the fact that, once again, it doesn't have reviews, right? So that's like number one. But number two, you know, you don't have any keywords. You don't have any Japanese food coloring book, right, inside the title, which makes it a lot easier for Amazon to recommend your book to, you know, relevant keywords. Now, I preach keywords a lot. I just want to say that it's not the end all be all. Like, it's not like your book will fail if you don't have keywords. In the beginning, it's a lot easier for your book to rank if you have some keywords in the title. You don't need keywords in the title if you don't want to, right? And if you're willing to market your book, if you're willing to run ads, if you're willing to do social media marketing, whatever, and just get a lot of sales, then over time, as you get sales, once again, Amazon will make the connection between the customer behavior, right? When the customers search for Japan coloring book and they buy your book, Amazon will start ranking your book in Japan coloring book. So you're gonna start ranking in all these different keywords. But a lot of people don't want to run ads. A lot of people come into this business thinking that they can just upload a book and not do anything and expect to make sales. If that's what you want to do, the best thing you can do is put keywords in your title, once again, because you're telling Amazon what your book is about. You're making it as easy as possible for Amazon to rank and basically for customers to discover your book. If you're not going to do that, you have to market your book, right? Preferably you do both if you want to make 10K a month or more. All right, next book is Ethereal Tattoos, coloring book for adults. We're getting a lot of coloring books and we're getting a lot of the same problems. So I'm just gonna skip ahead, or I'm just gonna say real quick. Same thing, did you check Ethereal Tattoos coloring book as a topic? Like, are people looking for it? You know, is it profitable? Did you do that? You didn't get any reviews. You know, that's the issue. The book cover is like, okay, but not the greats. So that is a problem here. All right, so the next book is Lara the Capybara and the Shooting Star, a tale of courage, friendship, and the journey to making dreams come true with values, plus fun facts about animals, books for kids age 2 to 6. I actually like this title. With a children's book, it's really hard to just call it like capybara children's book because it's, you know, it's super boring. So I get that the title, you have something unique like this, but in the subtitle, you did add some keywords here. Animal books for kids, or facts about animals, books for kids age 2 to 6. So it makes it a little easier for Amazon to rank your book, which is great, while keeping, you know, how nice the title sounds. So you're getting best of both worlds, right? And this is what you can do. Now your book cover is really nice as well. I don't do much children's books, but this is the kind of quality that I see in, you know, top children's book covers. So I think it's great. You have decent reviews as well. 7 is a good starting point, but you want to definitely get more. Now looking at your A+ content, your interior looks really, really good as well. Like really good. Okay, so obviously it's not AI. It's definitely hand-drawn or, you know, custom illustrations. Super good, super high quality. So a really great job on making this book in terms of quality. Now this book is not selling great, and that's probably because the marketing, right? So a lot of people are really good at producing the book, but not so great at marketing. Now marketing is a skill. You know, you have to learn marketing. You got to learn how Amazon works. And basically the way Amazon works is when you first publish the book, the first month or so, you get this thing called the honeymoon period, where Amazon shows your books to more people. And if you get a lot of sales, then Amazon will determine that your book is something like it is worth it for them to push it higher in page 1 to show it to more people, because it's already converting. Like you already showed Amazon that it's converting, it's getting reviews, people are liking it, right? So Amazon will show it to more people. If you just upload your book and do nothing, then Amazon would just say that, oh, no one wants this book. Why should we show it to more people? Why should we rank it on page 1 when you've already proven to us that nobody wants this? So we're just gonna drop it to page 100 so that no one buys it, right? So that's essentially what's happening to 99% of the books that people publish, is that they literally do no launch, no nothing, okay? I do cover launch strategies and stuff in my course in like way more details, but a quick gist of it is that the first month you want to tell as many people as you can, whatever social media following, you know, whatever, like whoever you know, and also run some ads as well, right? And just get as many sales as you can, even if you're just breaking even. So even if you're making back, you know, the same amount of money that you're putting in terms of ads, that is actually good. And I think it's worth it. By training the Amazon algorithm on what your book is about, they're gonna start showing your books on more keywords by getting sales, right? So you essentially do that for your launch, and hopefully more reviews comes in because you have a good book. And from there, you can kind of start optimizing for profitability and then go from there. So anyways, to recap, what I would do here is your title's good, your cover is great, your interior is amazing. So I would heavily focus on marketing, because that's the one thing that you're missing. And I think if you start marketing it, people will realize how great of a book this is, and you will start getting a lot more word of mouth sales as well, but a lot more people just, you know, buying it and sharing it, and, you know, more. It's just gonna snowball from there. So get more reviews, start marketing it. If you're not running ads, try and run some ads. It doesn't have to be expensive. $3 a day is a okay place to start. And then also social media marketing, you know, do shorts, TikTok, Reels. Those are free ways to market your book as well. All right, so the next book is What an Elephant Can Do. Cute coloring book gift for boys, girls, and toddlers age 4 to 8. So at least you have the keyword in the subtitle, but besides that, it's not great, right? It's 0 reviews, AI generated cover, it's not the best. And yeah, it's just that's pretty much it, guys. Like, you know, there's not much more for me to say besides it's the same mistakes that we've seen multiple times in this video, is that you don't have the reviews, you just upload a mediocre book and you just forgot about it. Didn't do any launch, didn't do anything, right? So there's not much else we can do besides improving the book quality and then, you know, coming back and launching it better. I'm not trying to be harsh over here. I'm just trying to be, you know, honest. This is a book roast kind of video, right? So hopefully you're getting value from it instead of just, you know, thinking, oh, Sean's such an asshole, right? All right, so the next book is Lisa of the Alpha Line. So this is a fiction book. It could be a, reading the description, it looks like this is a fantasy book. I don't know if it's fantasy romance or just normal fantasy, but shapeshifter fantasy book, okay? So you should be putting that here in the subtitle, because shapeshifter fantasy is a genre, it's a category. And by putting it in the subtitle, it makes it so much easier for people to understand what your book is about. You know how I had to take 10 seconds reading your description just now to even understand what your book is about? Well, your customers are going to do the same thing. They're scrolling, and hopefully your book cover catches the attention. If not, they're just going to keep scrolling. But even after the book cover catch their attention, now they're going to read the title, and a lot of times people are lazy, right? So most times people aren't going to take another 10-20 seconds reading the description just to figure out what the book is about. So even in fiction, you kind of have to be clear. At least in the subtitle, put your genre, right? Fantasy, romance books for teens, or whatever it is, right? Call out your audience. Now, not all fiction publishers do this. Obviously, once they get big enough and their email list is huge, they don't have to do this. But I'm mostly talking to beginners who has not a ton of audience or fan base built up, right? Then you have to play the SEO game, because you're trying to tap into new customers instead of selling it to your existing customers. So it's super important to capitalize on every single aspect that you can to make more sales. Now, another thing with fiction is that you make most of your money from Kemp reads. Kemp reads is, when you're in KDP Select, every page people read, you make a little bit of money that way, right? So you want to make as many Kindle sales as possible, even at a low price like 99 cents, because the more pages people read, the more money you make. Now, that is not the only way to make money with fiction. Once again, I'm not a fiction expert. I do nonfiction, so just a disclaimer there. But typically, that's what people do. So it's not the only way, but typically they try to make money from Kemp. And fiction publishers create a big series, meaning they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 book series, sometimes 10 book series. There are authors out there with a 60 book series, so that once you get people hooked in your story, they keep reading, right? Maybe it's not a sequel, maybe it's a standalone, but still they like your writing style, so that they keep buying your books. So you essentially make money from all the read-throughs that happens from the people reading all your books. So if you also want to go into the fiction game, then you gotta go in with an understanding that you have to create a series. Okay, that is one of the best ways to make more money. It's very hard to make money from just one book, especially with fiction. So in terms of the price, $8.99 is okay, but I would reduce it. But once you have book number 2, book number 3, try and reduce the book number 1 price a little bit, so it's easier to make the sale, get people into the series, and then have the book number 2 and 3 priced higher, so you make your money back there. You also have to kind of spend more money on ads. Like fiction people go heavy on Facebook ads. Facebook ads is, once again, not the only way to do it. You can do Amazon ads. It really depends on your genre and how you do it, but most of the time Facebook ads is where it's at. So perhaps you can look into that as well. Besides that, I think the book cover can improve. I mean, if this is a shapeshifter kind of thing, maybe focus on the wolf a little more, like the wolf can be closer. But once again, I'm not a fiction expert, but this is just me commenting based on my experience being in the publishing space for over 8 years. I've analyzed a lot of books. I've seen a lot of fiction books succeed, right? And I've seen a lot of fiction books fail. And these are the things that I know. Now, if you guys are publishing low content, medium content, or high content nonfiction, and that's the business that you want to build, that is the business that you want to scale, then I do have a coaching program. I forgot if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but if you guys want to check it out, just click on the first link in the description. These aren't all the testimonials. We have a lot more, but you can see that a lot of people are making money with publishing. So if you guys want to check it out and potentially join my program, then the link is once again in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend for your publishing business. Hopefully you enjoy the video and you learn something from this. Hopefully you know what to do to fix your book now so that you can get more sales. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.